So this is my first video in quite a while, obviously. I've been not doing the best as far as staying on track. So I really didn't have a whole lot to report except, oh, I gained weight again this week, or oh, I gained weight again this week. And I didn't exercise again this week, things like that. Um, so I have gotten back on track for the past 3 days so far with my eating, which is good. Um, this week, because of that, I lost about 4 pounds of weight, most of which is water weight. I understand that because it's only been 3 days, right? But it's good kind of like jump start to start the process again. So I'm feeling good. I'd never gained too much weight, so that's good. I just kind of stayed at the same, gained maybe a couple pounds or something like that. So nothing too dramatic, which is good. Exercise, I'm still not doing that like I should. I kind of got out of the habit of it, and I'm not even doing my daily walks anymore. I need to start doing that again, just because those really get me ready to go for the day. They wake me up. They make me feel like get my heart beating a little bit, get some blood pumping, really get me started for the day. Um, and I just haven't been doing those lately. So let's see what else. Um, Other than that, I am, and this is unrelated to weight loss or any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to something called Barefoot School today. It's going to run all day, well, this evening, all day Saturday and Sunday until like 6 p.m. So it's a bunch of workshops about like barefoot living, which makes sense based on the title. There's also some workshops on like sustainability, minimalism. Um, there's some good information, or there should hopefully be a good session on white people listening to people of color. So hopefully that session is pretty good. I'm going into it with my work lens on, of course, because that's the kind of work I do. Just to kind of make sure that it's a good session, and that it has good information in it. Um, Other than that, oh, there's one on foraging, which is going to be pretty cool. Most of the food there, or all the food there, is either sustainably grown or foraged. So it's going to be pretty interesting to have local foraged or sustainably grown food, because that's not something I get that often, or if at all. I'm trying to remember the last time I had something like that, and I can't remember. It's just living in a city, in an apartment with no porch, or balcony or anything. It's a little bit difficult to like grow food. Um, and foraging out here is a little bit weird, when you're in the city anyway. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool to learn a little bit more. I have, just from reading this person's blog, I felt motivation to kind of go through and purge a bunch of stuff that I have that I don't need, particularly clothes, because I've been changing my style so much here lately in the past couple of years. I had like basically two or three wardrobes, more than could even hang up in my closet for sure. And I still do have more that can hang up in my closet. But I have two 30-gallon trash bags full of clothes right now to donate. Um, so if that gives you any idea of how many clothes I had, and knowing that there are still clothes that don't fit in my closet, gives you an idea of how much clothes I have. So I'm going to go through it again. What I really want to do is only keep things that I love. Because I don't, and stuff that's useful, like, dress pants for work or whatever. But I want to make sure that what I'm wearing is stuff that I actually really like. And I'm not just wearing stuff to be wearing stuff, or wearing stuff because it fits into a certain fashion sense or style or colorway. Um, I had been really interested lately in a fashion, out of Japan called Fairy K, which is really interesting. It's beautiful. A lot of pastels, a lot of like 80s motifs, um, like fluffiness and layering and all that kind of stuff. So I've been, trying to get into that. It's very expensive to get into because you need a lot of very specific things. Um, of which I still don't have everything that I need in order to make a successful Fairy K outfit, or cord as they call them, in order to be officially joining one of the Discord groups. But I've kind of got to the point with it where I've tried several times to get vetted in that particular group. It hasn't happened. Every time they say I need more this, more that, I need a new this, or I need to change this. And it's gotten to the point where it's just like, that's a lot of time and effort and money that I've been spending on this for no real benefit to me, because I can wear whatever I want to. And it doesn't have to fall into a particular style. It can just be clothes that Dean likes, you know? Um, so I got kind of trapped in those details and going through that and all that kind of stuff. It was my special interest for a little while, so that's kind of where that came from. But I need to, I think, get back to my minimalist roots, and be more intentional with what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, and where I'm getting it from, where it comes from, and what the process is, and all of that kind of stuff. I have a lot of fast fashion, a lot of stuff from other countries that was made probably in not a very good way at all. Um, so I need to, and stuff that I have no idea where it came from. So I need to be a little bit better about that, I think, because of my I really want to be as eco-friendly and sustainable as I can be, given my circumstances. And so I've been thinking really hard about that these past couple days. Um, and there's just so much that I can do, that I need to be doing in order to be more sustainable, more eco-friendly with my practices. So yeah, that's just what I've been thinking about lately as far as that kind of stuff goes. So I'm going through clothes right now. I'm going to Barefoot School this weekend. When I come back, I'll be going through them again, and donating what I can. And then I'm going to start going through stuff because I have so much stuff as well. You can see my office behind me. That's all stuff on that bookcase. The only things that are not, just random stuff is a couple books and then my diplomas on the bottom, and a certificate, I think. But yeah, so I just collect things, cute things, which is fine. It's fine if you want to do that, that works for you. But for me, it just makes me feel weighed down, and like there's just too much stuff around me, and that leads to kind of this feeling of manic kind of stuff, feeling like I am, there's just so much stuff. Why even try to keep stuff clean? I don't dust anything, and I'm allergic to dust. But if I had less stuff, I would probably dust more often, because you could see it a lot easier, and get to it a lot easier to clean it up. So I just do better with less stuff in my life. So I really need to kind of sort through the stuff I have and kind of get back to my minimalist roots, like I said. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling as far as that stuff goes. I know that's not related to weight loss or any of that kind of stuff, but it's a life update, I guess. Um, Trying to think if there are any other life updates that I have. Um, yeah, that's about it. I am doing work on my disquisition, for my doctoral program. I held my first professional development session. I got a little bit of feedback as far as from the participants. I need to hold my first focus group session, which is my next step, and then plan out the next session for the fall, and then start with the pre-test, post-test focus group. And I want to start a professional learning community as well. So that'll be my opportunity to get faculty together so that they can talk amongst themselves and really come up with ideas or suggestions or talk about what's worked in their classroom or what hasn't, and really be able to build a more trans inclusive pedagogy for them, and kind of do those kinds of things as far as that goes. So that would be something that would be self-sustainable even without me around. I could be there as a facilitator, I could be there to answer questions, but it's really about them doing that work and getting together for that purpose. Um, So, and the focus groups, of course, are to help with the development of the professional development in order to make it as good as possible and as informative as possible and get as much information out there as I can in such a short time period. I do need to add a couple slides on. I realized after the first one on like current legislation, and then one on trans people in sports and talking about that a little bit. That was suggested by one of the attendees because I talked about it briefly, but just briefly. So they wanted a deeper dive on that. So I can definitely do that. Let's see here. I don't know. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie, go see the Barbie movie. It's amazing, especially if you are anti patriarchy. It's a great movie. Um, I thought it had some really, really great themes to it. It was reminiscent of my childhood because my sister and I played Barbies all the time. Um, and it just reminded me a lot of, the world and how it runs and how it should run and what it should look like and how um, I don't know, how we need to change things drastically. So it was just a really good movie for that. It made me think a lot more than I wanted it to make me think, or that I thought it was going to make me think, rather. I thought it was just going to be a fun, happy, kind of lighthearted movie, but it had really deep tones to it, which was great because I love a good movie with deepness to it. And so, yeah, it surprised me in that way, but it was great. It was a good surprise. So in any case, I think that's about it for my updates. Um, Lost some weight this week, which is great. Um, Staying on track. The first 2 weeks are always the hardest, so I need to make it through the next 11 days because it's been 3 so far. So the next 11 days will be tough, but I think I can make it through. So I just have to stay on track and not, let myself get any of those trigger foods or eat any of those trigger foods because that's when it starts the problem again. So the trigger foods for me are mostly sweets, so sugar, artificial sweeteners I'm allergic to, so I can't have those. Even stuff like maple syrup and agave syrup cause me problems because they're really sweet and they make me want more. So, I've been known to eat a lot of maple syrup. So in the past, and adding it to stuff and wanting more of that, and those kinds of things. Dates seem to be fine mixed in. Like I have Lara bars for lunch, along with like a piece of fruit. And those have dates in them, but it's not so much that it causes me to want more, which is good. So I know that that's a safe food for me. Um, and then junk food. Junk food, fried food, those kinds of things are definitely big triggers for me. So keeping them out of my life and being abstinent from them works better for me than trying to do moderation. Because moderation never works for me. I've tried so many times. One potato chip turns into the whole bag of potato chips. One French fry turns into a whole, container of French fries. And then if I make them at home, then I just want more and I go cook more, and it's just a whole cycle. And then I'll eat other stuff in addition to because I've slipped, and then I have that what the hell effect, where it's like I've already messed up, so I might as well just mess up more and start again tomorrow. That's kind of that mindset that my brain tries to trick me into. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm standing with that. And I've rambled on way too long. This is too long of a video, but I just wanted to give some updates because it's been a little while, and kind of where I'm at mentally and physically as well. So yeah, that's it. Bye, y'all.